Hello my friends, and yes, it happened. General Zaluzhny was dismissed by President Zelensky. As President Zelensky told in one of his recent interviews, he is willing to do it, so he did it. This picture was posted by Zaluzhny himself on his Telegram channel. Nevertheless, Zaluzhny confirmed that he was resigned. He says that there will be different approaches to the strategy. He says that everyone should change and adapt to the new realities, to win together, but probably now without Zaluzhny. Firstly, I got this information from the Ground News platform. I'm subscribed for it for a very long time. This story is of course widely covered by many of the media sources and the Ground News. I can see that more than 200 articles were published on our topic. And on this website we may see and compare all of the headlines from all around the world. Kyiv Independent, for example, is just stating facts that Zaluzhny is simply dismissed, while the Russian RIA Novosti is focused on new commander Syrsky, mainly because they have to deal with him right now. In general, I appreciate that we can see both sides on this platform, and I use it also to check the enemy side as well. I don't think that dismissment of Valery Zaluzhny is very critical or catastrophic for Ukrainian army, but from my point of view, it is a mistake done by political management of Ukraine. By the way, to get unlimited access to the Ground News platform, please check out my personal link ground.news/Dennis. Join it to stay fully informed on what is happening in Ukraine and around the world. The Ground News became my daily routine. I always check out the news each morning. This platform is basically a great news aggregator. You may check all of the origin sources gathered in one place. But the good thing that you may check the bus distribution right away and the factuality report of particular topic. So even before reading the original article, I may choose what to read. Mixed factuality, I don't like it. Maybe high factuality is proper for me. Also, you may find the articles from your original country. For example, Ukraine published 6 of the articles about Zaluzhny and Russia created 3 of the headlines. I may check out the article from Kyiv Post, for example, because originally it is from Ukraine and the news are coming from Ukraine at first. So again, please go to my personal link in the video description just below. It's ground.news/Dennis, where you may have the 30% of discount and full unlimited subscription for this platform. It's awesome. I use it constantly for my video production. And by clicking the link, you also support my channel and the team of Ground News. They do a fantastic job. Ground News, thank you for being partner and the sponsor of my channel. Alright, let's continue with the topic. President Zelensky on his page obviously thanked General Zaluzhny for his service. For 2 years he was a main commander of Ukrainian forces during this huge battle against the major aggressor in Europe. Zelensky also proposed Zaluzhny to stay in the team. I don't know what he meant, because he just dismissed his best general from what I think, but the proposition still exists. I don't know whether Valery Zaluzhny will admit the request from Zelensky to stay in the team or will continue his own journey. And later on, I believe that Zaluzhny will be back maybe on his position, or maybe he'll go to politics because he has all the chances to even become a president of Ukraine. Yes, people in Ukraine do like General Zaluzhny. Why? Because he basically saved lots of the cities and basically saved Ukraine. Here is what I mean. Reznikov, the ex-Ukrainian Minister of Defense, on February 21st, 2022, just 3 days before the war, said that Russia doesn't have such a contingent in Belarus to attack Kyiv. He said it during the briefing of the Ministry of Defense of Ukraine. And we know that Ukrainian armed forces haven't got any order from the Defense Ministry to prepare for something. They were located in their bases mostly. But what General Zaluzhny did, he didn't listen to our politicians who say the same stuff. He didn't listen to the Minister of Defense. But what he did, he organized the defense. He moved Ukrainian forces out of their barracks and placed them at the proper places where he thought Russia would attack. Many of the forces were moved eastbound because we expected that Russia would start their massive attack on the east. But they also moved towards Kyiv, and without Zaluzhny, Kyiv would be doomed. We know that General Zaluzhny is a really powerful person and also independent person. He has his own opinion on many of the topics, and in most of the cases he is right. For example, the New York Times refers to the Minister of Defense of Ukraine, Umerov. Zaluzhny negotiated directly with our allies about the military supplies to Ukrainian army, bypassing the Ministry of Defense. He also thought that the orders from President Zelensky are unrealistic to be conducted. The defense minister Umerov also said that Zaluzhny didn't present any plan for Ukrainian military for 2024. It was one more reason why he was dismissed. I guess that all of the rumors before were right about some of the conflict between Zelensky and Zaluzhny, and if we look at this way, probably it is the good thing for Ukraine in general to have one vector, but the problem that this vector could not be correct or right. I'm sure that General Zaluzhny is very professional and he has proper reasons to say or think like he thought. Also remember the failed Ukrainian counteroffensive which our guys tried to perform on the south. The goal of this operation wasn't achieved, and General Zaluzhny was at the first place against this operation straightforward towards the Russian defense lines, but still he was forced to start it. However, then he saw crazy losses from Ukrainian side. He stopped this operation at the proper time. That helped Ukraine to save the army. Just look at Russian attacks right now, all of those convoys. So Ukraine tried to use the same tactics the last summer, but General Zaluzhny said that it's too much for our army. We have losses. It's better to attack with the small groups. Now Russia, by the way, is also trying to attack with small infantry groups, looking at the experience of Ukrainian army. Alright, now let's speak about the new commander of Ukrainian army, General Syrsky. He used to be the commander of Ukrainian ground forces, and from what we know, he's very loyal to President Zelensky. So now we'll have a single vector of development, let's say, of Ukrainian army. Let's check out what other media sources say about it. The Washington Post says that change Zaluzhny for Syrsky will not be okay for Ukrainian people and Ukrainian military. Many say that he has the Soviet mindset, so it would be hard for Ukraine to implement new features into Ukrainian army if it is truth. For example, drones or other different approaches. Because of it, he also has a nickname Butcher. This nickname also comes from 2014, then our forces were encircled in Debaltseve and were forcibly moved out from encirclement with heavy losses. The evacuation wasn't organized or negotiated with the Russian side, so we lost many, and the commander of this operation was General Syrsky. Also, he was responsible for the Bakhmut operation, which caused Ukraine lots of the losses. General Zaluzhny proposed to withdraw Ukrainian army, then the fight started inside the city. But Zelensky and General Syrsky stated that it's better to protect the city. In that case, the losses ratio was 1-to-1, so Ukraine had lots of the losses in Bakhmut, unfortunately. The Bakhmut, from tactical or even strategic point of view, is not important compared, for example, to Avdiivka. Also, one more feature, General Syrsky was born in Russia, and he still has many of the relatives, including his mother, who lives in the Russian Federation. So do you think that Russia might use this lever to press the new commander of Ukrainian army? Something tells me that it will be like that. Nevertheless, the United States Military Command is quite positive about new Ukrainian army commander. They say that he is very experienced and they would like to work with new Ukrainian army commander. Well, at least I'm happy that all of this Zaluzhny drama is over, that Zaluzhny still has his high rating. He's very popular in Ukraine among ordinary people and among military. He has all of the chances, I say it again, to return on his position or maybe even higher. We understand that Zaluzhny is not a saint person. He also did mistakes and some things should be done better. But in general, he's a very talented and professional commander. And yeah, I'm very sad that he left. But we also have some of the good news. President Zelensky will put new commanders of Ukrainian army as well. together with Syrsky, and those new generals, it is a new generation of Ukrainian army. So Igor Skibuk, Mikhail Darpaty, Andrei Ignatov, Pavel Palisa, Vadim Sukhaevsky, Ukrainian soldiers say that all of them have good reputation in Ukrainian military. So if they will also reach some level of power in Ukrainian army command, it will be awesome. So it's not just about General Commander Syrsky or something. Army is big and requires many of the commanders. So with this new team, I believe Ukrainian army has perspectives to fight against Russia and to win on the front lines. But again, my personal opinion that this good team would work the best under the command of General Zaluzhny. So what will happen next? Well, basically nothing. Ukrainian army will continue to fight against the Russian aggression. However, now it's hard to do because our army is in lack of supplies. However, we have some of the good news about it, possibly good. Unexpectedly, Congress supported the split review of the bills for Ukrainian support and also the support of Israel and the border question. 67 of the senators voted for it, so we have a small win. However, it all depends also on the House of Representatives, and there we'll have the biggest problem. First of all, with MAGA group, and secondary with the Speaker Mike Johnson, who will say again that this deal is dead, this deal is dead. That is what he says always. Yes, now at least we have some of the chance. It's the light chance, but it does exist. It's awesome. Here we have the post of Donald Tusk, the Prime Minister of Poland, says that dear Republican senators of America, Ronald Reagan, who helped millions of us to win back our freedom and independence, must be turning in his grave today. Shame on you. He said about the voting that happened yesterday in Senate, that Senate didn't support the complex bill, including Ukraine and border. Well, now at least they will support the bill for Ukraine, but I give like maybe 20% for that to happen. Chancellor Scholz, again with the good news, Germany is getting ready to give Ukraine long-term obligations for support. Ukraine should keep a modern and capable army, he says, able to withstand the Russian aggression. Also, he mentioned the perspectives of Ukrainian EU membership. But we heard those fairy tales for a long time already, decades, but for sure Ukraine will be the part of EU in the future. Alright, now let's briefly go to review the front lines. Miraculously, we have some of the good news from some of the points or some of the areas. Let's go to Novomikhailivka, where Russia advanced yesterday. You saw the huge Russian advancement. It was like that, but still Ukraine was able to cope with the Russian advancement and pushed them out from this small town over here. Wow. There are heavy fights ongoing just at this minute. It's a very hard situation for our guys, but still they were able to kick Russians out from this village or small town. Novomikhailivka is a new hotspot. Also, if we go to the south near to Robotyne, Ukraine took some of the positions. It's been confirmed that this area is out of the Russian occupiers, and Ukraine established the control over this tree line, which could be used as the defense line. Also, we have the clarification of the front lines near to Mykilske. So it was yesterday and it is today. I guess that we just obtained the new data. We know that the fight there also ongoing. Russia established their control over the local field, but Russia wasn't that successful as we thought before. The similar update comes from Zaporizhia Oblast, from Kamenskaya. Ukraine again took and established the control over this field. Good news. Also, Ukraine performed a counterattack near to Bilohorivka over here in this forest line, straight ahead. So it was like that, and Ukraine took the control over this area. We haven't just received the update from the deep state military map, but we have the update from the different source, so it is like that today. It seems like Russians weren't really prepared for a Ukrainian counterattack in the sector, because I don't see the fire from their side. Usually we have some of the artillery fire or aviation bomb drops, but here is just nothing. So Ukraine has the potential to go even further. And now let's go to Avdiivka, where unfortunately Russia moves forward with the same assault vector for the third or even fourth consecutive day. So I need to change the chart for this colorful one to see the road, which is critical for Ukrainian supplies, and Russians are very, very close to it. As I say to you, less than 1 kilometer, I think around 700 meters, something like that, half a mile, not more. And let's see the update for today. So it was yesterday and it is today. Russia entered this place, taking a couple of the quarters under their control. They already occupied around 18% of the city with this attack vector and this attack. I saw the exact figure, 18, in one of Ukrainian sources, so it could be legit. Should Ukraine defend Avdiivka for a very long time? Well, it's the question for our new military command. I think they will figure this out. We had some rumors that General Zaluzhny wanted to get our forces out from this town, but I guess that with a new commander, with General Syrsky, and based on the previous experience in Bakhmut, they'll concentrate on defending Avdiivka for a very long time. Maybe just not to give Putin the present for his election campaign, who knows. As for the rest of the front lines, Russia also assaulted in many of the other directions. In some of them they took the ground, but not significant. So I won't put attention on that today. The critical point is Avdiivka still, the most critical one. Awesome news, Ukrainian warriors were returned from the Russian prison. 100 soldiers were exchanged today. It's just great. I'm very happy that we have many more exchanges nowadays, and our guys, well, they are in good condition. At least that is what we see from this video. They're not like skeletons as it was before many times. So probably now Russia behaves differently after many of the media sources say that they basically torture our soldiers in their prisons by not giving food or water. Now we see that guys are more or less in nice shape. They went from this bus and more or less okay from what I may see. But again, doctors will tell of how they are doing. And Russia usually doesn't provide the qualified medical help, and our guys need treatment after they return to Ukrainian soil. About Tucker Carlson, or how you would call him, from what I see, he has a lot of PR on his interview. It seems like it never happened before, but for sure we'll see the same rhetorics which usually Putin says. Ukraine is a fake state, Ukraine partially is Russia, Ukrainians are Russians, probably that West started the Second World War, including Poland. It wasn't Russia, it wasn't even Germany. NATO, we're fighting against NATO. This is my prediction. That is what will happen for sure. And I will review this interview anyways, mainly because it has too much attention and I need to grow my new channel. Yes, I have the other channel and there I speak mostly nowadays about politics because Ukraine is not obtaining the military support from the United States. That is why I put my anger, let's say, there in that side. I'll put the link down to this video for you to check it out anyways. The Economist with a title page saying about Ukrainian developments of the drones. Indeed, the drones are very effective. Just look at this small FPV drone compared to the battery and the big shell, but it is powerful enough to deliver the shell for many kilometers away from Ukrainian positions. And yes, Russians are copying Ukrainian army. They also have the FPV drones, however still less effective compared to Ukrainian side. We have better technology in the drones so far. The good news about artillery shells production is coming from the United States. They want to increase production by 2 times this year. It's just crazy. Hopefully that munition will be supported or supplied, it's better to say, to Ukraine. Sadly, we have the bad news about our pilot. His airplane Sukhoi 25, it is the attack airplane, very risky flight operations. He was shot down. I don't know the location. It is not specified, but pilot lost his life. His name was Stanislav Rukov, and he got more than 299 battle flights, actual flights in this war. He was really young and he had family. Rest in peace, flying brother. At the same time, Russia lost their helicopter K-52 somewhere on the south. Also, crew wasn't able to eject from this helicopter. Yes, those helicopters are equipped with ejection system. The Russian opposition candidate Nadezhin was rejected from the further stage of the future presidential elections in the Russian Federation. Basically, he wasn't registered, even though he was able to collect all of the required signatures. Many people support him, but Putin, as usual, is afraid. They had learned the history which happened in Belarus. Then Lukashenko allowed the opposition candidate to compete with him, and basically he lost the elections and just wrote the number for him personally, 90-something%, and people didn't accept that, starting the massive riots. Well, if this really the opposition candidate, I am not really sure. Maybe he was used to release some of the steam from the Russian society, because his friend is actually in the Putin's office of Kremlin. It is a known fact, and also he wants to make a new referendum in Crimea and in occupied territories, including the city of Zaporizhia, which wasn't really occupied, whether people want to go to Russia. I don't like that, so he's not good for Ukrainian side in any case. Ukrainian soldiers say that something is interesting happening with the Starlink. They say that the coverage extended by Starlink company to the occupied territories deep to the Russian border, as you can see over here. And also they say that Russia has started to receive the Starlink antennas coming to Russia from United Arab Emirates. For now, those are just rumors, but who knows? We have the real image of the coverage of the Starlink. Alright, so Carlson has just released his interview with Putin. It's more than 2 hours long, so what are you doing? Why do you give me so much job to review your bullshit? And Elon Musk says that he is watching it right now, so he is really supportive of Putin and this break. Well, anyways, we're gonna review it very soon. Probably I'll record the video this night, because this topic for now is very hot and I still wonder why. My friends, don't forget to press your huge like to this video. By doing so, you help me a lot. And don't forget to check my personal link for the Ground News platform, where you may get the ground news with discount, especially made for my followers. So my friends, I wish you all, as usual, a peaceful sky wherever you are, and have a great time.